All right, let's do it.
War and the political landscape today, the culture war and the political landscape today really are a hellish, nightmarish dystopia for which no one can escape.
We start with the ad homs. For one, take off your fucking beanie. Every single picture of this guy. Listen, are you balding? Just rep it. Just fucking rep it. I shaved my head in high school, okay? What every picture of this guy. Why? It's like the same beanie. Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's balding. Incredible. Just shave your head and move on with your fucking life. Jesus Christ. Some dudes, it's so fucking sad the way some dudes turn this into some sort of protracted fucking, like, quarter life crisis nightmare. Just shave your fucking head, grow a beard, and just live. Just go on with your life. Just go on. It's fine. It's cool. I shaved my head, okay? I kept it shaved for 6 months. Every morning with a razor, I went over my head, okay? You want to hear something kind of fucked up? When you got that shaving cream slurry on your scalp and you run the razor over it, the millions and millions of incredibly fine little hair fragments that you're cutting up turn into this grayish slurry with the shaving cream that if it drips into your eyes is basically like getting sand in your eyes, except the particles are much finer. That really sucks. Don't let that happen to you, okay? So anyway, yeah, doesn't this not look like Squad W? Same energy? Perhaps? Maybe. We'll let the historians decide. Whatever the case is, oh god, we'll get to you. Okay, so whatever the case is, stop with the fucking beanie, and also, Jesus Christ, your teeth are crooked. Could my edgier style maybe reach more chuds? Unquestionably it could. So we've got that. Also, fix your beard. Okay, we're getting the ad homs out of the way. Okay, we're getting it out of the way. Now we can focus on content. Are you guys ready?
And I have to wonder, I have to question the sanity of anybody who wants to be involved in anything having to do with this.
I mean, you're making a lot of money off of it. I'm making some money off of it. I don't know. Seems like kind of maybe a whiny bitch boy position to take. Oh no, us media figures involved in the right-left crash on YouTube and Twitter and what have you. Woe is us.
And I look at my friends, the moderates, the center leftists, who have bowed out and are no longer engaging in politics. And
my friends, the moderates and center leftists. For those of you who don't know, Tim Pool is not, he pretends to be left-leaning. He's like he's like a Dave Rubin or a Sargon of Akkad, right? But every single one of his videos is alt-right clickbait. Anti-Antifa, leftist activists force MasterCard to vote. Here's him defending PewDiePie. Here's him fear-mongering about migrants escaping. Censorship backfires in the far left again. It's like every single fucking video. He puts out like a video a day. It's incredible. Look at this. Look at this. No, he's 100% a far-right reactionary. Everything that he does is far-right reactionary. So I will treat him like a far-right reactionary.
I think, you know what? Maybe they got it right. Because everyone has lost their goddamn mind. The culture war is insane. It's quite literally a clown world.
I need to get a prop, like a whistle that I keep here on top of the printer. Right here. So I can, when I hear a dog whistle, you know? For those of you who don't know, check out fucking video on my channel. Clown World is a Nazi meme. It's a Nazi meme. Nazis use it. Nazis make the jokes. We can go to the Hong Kong video, look down at the comments. 13% of blacks commit 50% of the crimes. 6 million Jews burned up in the Holocaust. Riddle me this, Goyim. What advocates for no barriers, yet has many walls? It's a fucking Nazi meme. Okay, let's keep it going.
Now, I made some videos about the clown world meme in the past few days, and it basically means that things are so downright insane and nonsensical, clearly, the world must be some kind of satire or parody of itself.
That has nothing to do with Nazis, right? Even though literally all the attention surrounding the meme has to do with the fact that it's related to Nazis. Then no associate. All right, cool.
But in reality, this is reality. Today,
oh God. Please get rid of the blue arrow on the bottom left? What the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea why it's doing that, but okay. Oh, I know. New plan. We keep up? No? Chat's just broken? Yeah, fucking YouTube chat. Alright, can we hear that one again?
insane and nonsensical, clearly. The world must be some kind of satire or parody of itself. But in reality, this is reality.
Oh, man. In reality. Things are so crazy. Transgender people. Antifa. We must be living in some kind of simulation. Turns to camera. But in reality, I squint. We live in reality. Don't you script these? Fuck. If I say stupid shit, at least I have the excuse of like, I don't have a fucking... Guys, check it out. No script. I don't keep any of that, okay? At least I have an excuse.
Today, as I was looking through all of these different stories, trying to figure out what the narrative was, what are we focusing on today, I just thought, look at all of this insanity. It's very stressful. And so, you know what I thought? Maybe what we'll do today is kind of like those old sitcoms where they would do a compilation episode where they show bits from all these other episodes. And I said, maybe I should step back and look at a series of instances that show us we really do live in a nonsensical, freakish nightmare reality. And that's what we're going to do today. So this won't be for the faint-hearted. It may actually make you upset, but it's not going to be all-inclusive. It's just going to be a small handful of the stories I've pulled up over time that we're going to look at to realize this is a nightmare, isn't it? But before we...
Are we ready? I bet you... So let's think, in what ways is the world currently off of its fucking rocker? Okay, well, we have a president who had no political experience, who had like fucking a million women who accused him of sexual impropriety prior, who beat and raped his current wife, who definitely has some kind of like dementia or some kind of senility that's going on, who makes insane statements day after day, provably false statements that nobody can pay attention to because they're too busy focusing on the last 80. I think that's pretty fucking crazy. We've got a rise in alt-right and neo-Nazi sentiments spreading across Western Europe.
Can you imagine if you were a bad faith actor with no scruple? You could go around talking about the Ablis left elitists trying to witch hunt you in an attempt to cut off your only revenue.
I'm positive I turned off text-to-speech. Thank you for the donation. Yours will be the last one read out loud. So we've got fucking Erdogan. We've got the fact that a coup is being backed up in Turkey right now. Not Turkey, sorry, in Venezuela. There's a lot of wacky shit going on right now. Okay, so what do you bet? Do you think he's going to cover any of that, or do you think it's just going to be left? Okay, I'm looking forward to the trans people, trans children and drag queens. One or the other or both gonna be focused here. All right.
Before we get started, make sure you follow our new YouTube channel, youtube.com/subversevideos. The goal of this channel is to produce straightforward news, on-the-ground reporting, and expert interviews to cut through the spin and the bias to the best of our abilities.
Tim Pool, keep pretending to be a journalist. Oh my god.
If you want to support this video, just share it on social media to help spread the news. A meme that I've talked about and has been circulating quite a bit is the clown world meme. It's gaining quite a bit of traction, and it's represented by a little clown frog. This post in Urban Dictionary
called Honkler
comes from October 15th, 2017.
Hyena, don't spread fake news. Text-to-speech is disabled for this stream. Look at the fucking description under the video. Look at it!
17. A phrase used to describe the current state of affairs in regards to the world, usually socially or political. The word is employed as to state that something is ridiculous or nonsensical in a way. Only could this be real in a world run by clowns. Clown world. And that brings me to the first little iteration of nonsense. This tweet from Jeffrey Guterman, who said on April 9th, Candace Owens is a white supremacist.
So first off, our bar for determining that our world is nonsensical is looking at a tweet. Okay, all right. All right. Also, I agree with this tweet. Please, Tim Pool, just say it. How can she be a white supremacist if she's black?
For those that don't know, Candace Owens is a black woman. A black woman is a white supremacist.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense.
Tim Pool. Did you know it's actually possible to be racist against black people and be black? In the immortal words of Jesse Lee Peterson, a hero in the African American community, black people used to have morals, but nowadays black people, they're children of the lie. They're raping and murdering, and they don't live up to the standards white people set. Black people are children of the lie, and now they don't have no morals. Now they just run around with their pants down, shooting each other. In the immortal words of Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, basically the modern iteration of Martin Luther King Jr., it is possible for black people to not like black people. Good one, though, Tim Pool. Nice, really busting out those investigative journalist chops right there. Oh, God, this world is insane. When I go on Twitter, I see people accusing far-right political pundits of being white supremacists. But she's a black woman! Good one, Tim Pool. Better luck next time.
Unless you're a fan of Dave Chappelle and you think...
Can you not disrespect MLK like that? I don't think anything I said was disrespectful to MLK. Little buddy. Little friendo. Might want to pick up on the satire. A little harder.
The Clayton Bigsby sketch is real life. But yes, this person apparently, unironically, thinks that Candace Owens is a white supremacist, which is strange considering she's black.
It's the only counter argument that he has. He can't fathom it. How can you be black but think white people better than black people? Me no understand.
But just wait. He's not the only one who thinks this kind of thing happens. Remember when the Daily Beast ran this story in September? Why young men of color are joining white supremacist groups. Patriot Prayer's leader is half Japanese. Black and brown faces march with the Proud Boys. Is the future of hate multicultural? How, at the same time, can you be white supremacist but have people in your group who are people of color?
Wow, I think Tim Pool might actually be a fucking retard. I need to prep myself. I never do. I need to watch some content beforehand so I can come in here and know the level of engagement that are we getting a John Doyle or something or they can put together an argument, or is this the level of engagement I'm about to get? Yeah, I could spend a literal fucking literally 2 hours talking about all of the ways in which white nationalist groups have in the past courted the interest and support of non-white people. Yeah, they've done that. The Nazis recruited fucking black soldiers in northern Africa during their campaigns against Patton. They worked with Arabs frequently. They cohabitated with the Japanese. The Japanese and the Nazis were allies, and both of them thought they were the master race. Fascinating. Wow, there were Jews who worked with the SS to sell out other Jews so they could survive just a little bit longer. There was In chat, Milo Yiannopoulos, a fantastic example. Milo Yiannopoulos, there are videos of Milo Yiannopoulos being in a bar, like casually chatting with racists, talking about a fondness for David Duke, doing like some ironic seek-hailing. He's a fucking black guy, and he fucks black people. Oh, not, wait, he's not black. Got that mixed up. He's a gay guy. And he fucks black people, and he's, what is he, Catholic? I don't fucking care. Listen, the point is, this is a very dumb argument, okay?
How does that make sense? Why, certainly, something like this could only exist in a world run by clowns.
I mean, this ain't the first time this happened. Okay, setting the bar very low here, Tim Pool. Jesus Christ. This world could only be run by clowns. There are people who say that non-white people can be racist against non-white people.
Perhaps we can talk about the issue of Chick-fil-A. Now, this story is...
I love you, Vosh. Can you relax in calling people retarded? I'll work on it, okay? Sometimes I'm just really flabbergasted at the level of discourse.
Run by clowns. Perhaps we can talk about the issue of Chick-fil-A. Now, this story is actually from today.
Oh.
Chick-fil-A is anti-gay. Protesters ride Cincinnati Cyclones Zamboni.
Okay.
If you haven't been following the news, Chick-fil-A is being banned from airports, being protested nationwide. People are outraged that this sandwich shop would dare be anti-gay. Well, aside from riding Zambonis, one thing we can do is display rainbow flags near its new airport Chick-fil-A.
Wait, so wait, people are just legally protesting and putting social pressure on a corporation that uses its profits to fund anti-gay groups? This sounds like an excellent invocation of the free marketplace of ideas. I thought that right-leaning people were all in favor of things like boycotting and protesting within the bounds of the law. This is like voting with your dollar, right? This is how you indicate displeasure with a corporation when you don't have the institutional power to, correctively adjust any of their practices.
There was a post I saw on Twitter that went rather viral, which was kind of funny. Imagine being in the year 2050. And you're reading the history book or article about the LGBT rights fight back in 2019, when you learned that a chicken sandwich fast food chain was the principal aggressor on one side of the fight.
Was it? Do we say that? I don't know. I learned a lot about gender theory, like LGBT activism back in college. At no point did I open up my textbook and read, and the principal enemy of our people, Chick-fil-A, will one day rue the moment they decided to make themselves an enemy of us. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is self-described journalist Tim Pool saying that because people are protesting a business, that we live in a clown world and gay people are treating Chick-fil-A like it's the principal enemy to their existence, as opposed to, say, the Republican Party of the United States of America.
Or that for some reason people were challenging a restaurant that sells milkshakes and chicken.
Wow, incredible. Hey, why do people protest what Nestle does in Africa? Nestle just sells chocolate milk. What a clown world we live in. Imagine you read the history books, and then all of the people who didn't like the slavery that Nestle did, they protested against the corporation that sold chocolate milk. This was the great big battle. It's a multi-million-dollar corporation that uses their profits to prop up anti-gay hate groups. I don't know what to tell you, my friend. Tim Pool, my very large-brained friend. It's big, it's pressing up, it's swelling against the interior cap of your skull. Please, explain to me how reductively describing the business practices of a business makes them any less of an institution that donates money to causes people disagree with. You can be reductive like this about anything. Oh, yeah, and people didn't like the Volkswagen when it originally came to America because they just sold cars and not... And you... It's preposterous. The suggestion that this is in any way... I feel... Wait, what the fuck am I doing? Am I being performative right now? Am I doing this for your guys? Why the fuck am I explaining this? This is obviously a stupid point. You all know this. Why am I wasting time explaining this to you? Like, unironically, why am I doing this? What am I doing it for but you already know. Do you just like hearing me talk about things you already agree with?
Is it weird that people who work at the highest levels of a fast food restaurant donate to charities? Not really.
Donate to charities. Ooh, centrist or liberal left-leaning Tim Pool strikes again. The problem people have with Chick-fil-A is that they donate to charities. We got it. We nailed them, boys. Left wing destroyed.
But it's funny that this is the grand fight. I'm not saying people shouldn't protest a chicken shop.
You are. You are saying people, you're making fun of them for doing it. So you're saying they shouldn't do it. If I, like, that's the implicit suggestion there. If I make fun of somebody for doing something and I say we live in a clown world because they're doing it, and I make reductive statements about the validity of them doing it, I am in fact saying they probably shouldn't be doing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making discouraging statements.
Maybe they should protest the nonprofits that are actually advocating for these things, but
They do. They do that too. Just because, Tim Pool, memory like that fucking character from Finding Nemo. Just because you saw an article today about people protesting Chick-fil-A does not mean that Chick-fil-A is the ultimate antagonist and the be-all, end-all, final dragon for LGBT rights activism. Okay? I know, you read an article about it today, but just because you read an article about it today, just because that's the front of your mind doesn't mean it's at the front of everybody's mind.
why Chick-fil-A has become the center of this cultural...
Why does he keep saying this? It hasn't... What the fuck are you talking about?
I just really don't know. The company itself claims that they don't discriminate, but they're still being banned from airports.
Oh, the company says they don't discriminate. Oh, okay. What nonsense shit is this? Holy shit. So, they say they don't discriminate. Why are they being banned? I don't know. The public is putting pressure on institutions to not give give them business deals because they donate to organizations that people consider hate groups. This isn't difficult.
I have to imagine that, listen, if we're really going to look back on...
Do you think he's actually stupid enough to not be able to comprehend it? Or do you think he 100% knows that he's acting like a fucking idiot and that his audience is stupid enough to eat it up? Because with Tim Pool, the way his eyes lazily droop between every sentence, the way he actually looks like some sort of reanimated ghoul, at once too disgusted of himself to show his balding head and too shameless to put a beanie over that fucking set of teeth. Do you think perhaps he actually has no idea that he might actually be a philosophical zombie, an NPC with no internal dialogue?
On history and talk about the great civil rights movement against the chicken restaurant.
No, okay.
Sounds like a clown world to me. Of course, within the clown world, you actually have the strange contradictions that make up Wikipedia, like when you go to the man section and it says a man is a male human, but then when you go to the trans man section, it says a trans man is a man who was assigned female at birth.
This is... So, for one, I called it. For two, wow! Tim Pool with that hard-hitting journalism. Guys, I found Wikipedia articles. Look, I don't understand very basic linguistic and gender theory. Look at these two Wikipedia articles. Clown World! Honk, honk. Oh my god. He just reads the first sentence of Wikipedia. Guys, I don't understand this. We must live in a fucking simulation. Jesus Christ. Fridge temperature IQ. Thank you. That's a good one. I'll use that in the future. Wow. God damn. What am I even supposed to say to this? This mocks itself. The fact that people watch this and unironically Tim Pool made this great video recently on how discourse has been driven down to a level. We live in a clown world. The fact that people actually engage with this is genuinely disconcerting to me. Not in like Nazi, the revival of Nazis or what have you. I just don't understand how education could fail a person to the extent that they believe that this is an argument. I don't get it. I feel like this is flat earth territory.
These two pages actually contradict each other. How can both be true? The same is true for the woman page. It says a woman is a female human being, and then it also says that a trans woman is a woman who was assigned male at birth.
Okay. Not only is that not a contradiction, but even if it was, turning to the first sentence of a Wikipedia article is not a good way of demonstrating the fundamental hypocrisy of a extremely complex and nuanced subject of academic discussion. Holy shit, someone just gave me a fuck ton of money. Okay, well, guess we're looking at donations. Yup. Oh god, I can't do it. This Tim Pool shit is actually too smooth-brained for me. Fuck! I don't know if I can do it, friends. Oh god damn it. Hold on. W. West with the $2. I require more dabs, people, sir. There we go. Okay. Comatose with the $2. It's Mayday. Shouldn't you be off work? Listen, this is fun for me, okay? James Hill with the $5.49 Canadian. Does Tim Pool know about black slave owners? Moron. I don't know. Maybe we should drum up some support and try and debate Tim Pool, huh? That'd be a really... In fact, debating Tim Pool would actually be a lot easier for me than looking over his videos, because when I look over his videos, the internal hemorrhaging I suffer when listening to him make the first eighth of a bad argument and then not finish it is actually a lot more painful than it would be for me to engage with those ideas thoroughly. Dilverin Materis donated $5. I love you, Vosh. Can you relax and calling people retarded? Again, I'm working on it, okay? I'm a heated boy. Zigzamillion with the $10. Tim Pool's beanie gets lower on his head as his hairline recedes further back. Yeah, hopefully one day it'll go far enough to cover up that mouth. Fuck. Thank you for the $10, friend. Donkey Show... Donkey Show with the 200 pesos. Thank you. Did a dim tool mini binge today. His wit is mind-numbing. Holy crap. The living definition of a useful idiot. I think he might actually be that stupid. I think he might actually be just a solid D- IQ. Right there. I don't know how you do it. I couldn't do it. And Taylor Rathbone with the unbelievably generous $50 donation, entirely undeserved, mind you. This is the first stream of yours I've been able to see live. I'm not usually into masculinity, but your deep voice and genius brain makes my lady bits tingle. You're probably the only person that could destroy Ben Shapiro in a debate. For one, I agree. I think I could, given some time to prep and a neutral audience. For two, that is an incredibly generous donation. Tell you what, I'll keep being aggressively masculine into my microphone, and you keep watching, all right? That's the union we're going to form, all right? The seamless bond of our desires. And last but not least, Creative Nothing with the $5. Workers think they deserve to keep their surplus value. We truly do live in a clown world. I don't think he's going to get into economics here. There's no way somebody with a brain as smooth as Tim Pool could engage with that kind of rhetoric. But we'll see. We'll see. Sky Lang, thanks for the $2. You're doing God's work, boy. Keep it up. Listen, God has nothing to do with it, fool. Also, holy shit, there are 1,200 people here. Fucking okay, all right, let's keep it going.
If you're a woman, meaning you're biologically female but assigned male at birth, that's not what a trans woman is. Clearly, Wikipedia doesn't make sense within its own rules.
Oh no, it's almost as though the first sentence of a Wikipedia article isn't a good way to determine the foundation of an incredibly complex social construct, which is subject to changes in definition through time and location, culture, and even interpretation. But alright, Tim Pool is doing his best, okay? Ooh, he's really working. He's chugging. You can fucking hear. Ooh, I can hear it with my Panasonic $6 earbuds. You can hear the steam whirring through the combustion engine in his brain to try and process the dissonance here.
But hey, Wikipedia, is it even a good source? I mean, kind of, it aggregates information, okay. But let's not forget that for the longest time, for some reason, they claimed I had some type of Zeppelin modification. They actually claimed on my Wikipedia page for years that I somehow invented or developed a Zeppelin. I literally don't understand how this is even happening.
Wikipedia destroyed. Oh, Wikipedia is pretty okay. Info to the people and all that. Listen, originally, when I first got into college, initially, people were, like, when in community college, people were like, don't use Wikipedia, come on, use actual sources. But as I got older and I got more into the social sciences, I engaged with a lot more like nuanced critical discussion of the value that Wikipedia has for public discourse, because it really has democratized information, which is a truly incredible thing. Like a miraculous development, really. The idea that anyone can go on Wikipedia and engage with, in many cases, a near or at least like miniature academic level discussion on a variety of complex and difficult topics, maintained for free by a massive volunteer staff. That's really incredible. And if you want to get more into it, rather than read the Wikipedia articles, you can just go down to the references page in the bottom, see all of the sources from which they derive their statements, and then there you go. So not only is it a really good source of basic information, it's a source list to further engage with those topics. I think Wikipedia is great.
Well, let's move on to the next story. Just a quick little highlight about Jussie Smollett, who had all...
Listen, if I wanted to make an argument that we live in a clown world, do you know how I would do it? I would do this big fucking meta-narrative about how in the world in which we live, we deal with a wide range of cultural and social and economic contradictions, agitations that ruin the lives of many people, but none of us seem to be willing to acknowledge, okay? That's what I would do. I would put effort into it. But the fucking Tim Pool right here, why do people even engage in the culture war discourse? This is insane, man. A clown world, truly. Honk honk. The Holocaust didn't happen, but it should have. Let's take a look at the articles that I read today. The first sentence of Wikipedia, it doesn't match up. Ugh, clown world! Jussie Smollett, a completely meaningless, asinine news story that got blown way out of proportion. Clown world! And Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. The gays don't like it, right? It must be their final enemy. God world! Okay.
All of his charges dropped, even though the mayor says he's guilty, the police say he's guilty.
Wow, it's a good thing the mayor and the police don't actually determine whether or not somebody is guilty. Oh, incredible. Wow, basic misunderstanding of how our justice system, how our legal system works. Oh, wow. Tim Pool coming at us again with that hard-hitting investigative journalism. Wow, amazing. It's a good thing that it's actually the prosecutor who determines whether or not a crime has been committed, and then the jury is the one that determines whether or not a person is, well, guilty or innocent of that crime. The police and the mayor have literally nothing to do with that process. The mayor should not be commenting on the guilt of people recently incarcerated. And the police are very specifically disallowed from the institution of the police is designed to be kept separate from the mechanism which determined the guilt of somebody accused. I wonder why that could be. I wonder why.
And even the state prosecutors who let him off are saying they think he's guilty and would have been convicted.
Then why'd they let him off?
What a strange world we live in, right?
No, they let him off. That's their right. They let him off.
Perhaps the issue, as many have claimed, is racism, because this story is only from a few days ago. Brittany Cooper, has time been stolen from people of color? Yes.
Oh wow, we just fucking whiplashed. Oh my god. Oh god, holy shit. Let me just... Oh god, get the brain... Ow, wait, that actually hurt. Fuck, that wasn't funny. Ow. Ugh, god. I'm just so strong. Wow, that was a whiplash. Maybe the thing was why'd they let him go? Maybe racism? Here's another racism. I saw this article. Holy shit, I can't keep up.
Time is apparently racist, and this woman claims that time, the concept of time, is white. They say Brittany Cooper reflects on racism, the history of time, and who owns it. She argues that for people of color, time has been stolen. In order to move forward, we must first acknowledge the past.
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable statement.
But as you all know, racism is predominantly an issue of conservatives.
Oh, wait, you're not... Wait. You're not even going to engage with the idea? Tim Pool coming at us hard with that intellectual discourse. I can... Listen, because I'm not a smooth brain, I can look at the summary of this TED Talk and probably get a pretty good idea as to what it's about. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that if we look at in a generational sense, white people in America have had like 300 or 400 100 years with which to build up generational wealth and cement their power structures within institutions. Whereas black people, I mean, not only do we got slavery, then we had the Jim Crow laws, which basically completely prevented them from reaching any sort of upper echelon power in most American institutions. So if we're just talking about the capacity for a racial community to generate like generational wealth, the white people are looking at a time span about 5 times as long as black people. Now, this is just my assumption from reading this little 1 or 2 sentence summary of the TED Talk. Maybe it's about something else. Incredibly, it's actually possible to synthesize a wide variety of plausible, reasonable, academically viable explanations for this summary right here. But I get it. Tim Pool's a busy guy pumping out one shit video after another, day in and day out. Probably doesn't have time to read any of the shit he talks about.
First, acknowledge the past. But as you all know, racism is predominantly an issue of conservatives, except you have this kind of story from the New York Times. A modern love op-ed in the New York Times. They call it the paper of record. I broke up with...
Yeah, it's an op-ed, so it's an opinion editorial, published probably by somebody who submitted this paper to the New York Times and was published by them, but was not written by one of their staff. Okay, so again, clown world, cool.
...with her because she's white. When it comes to dating, I'd rather not think about race, but that's been hard to avoid. Yes, because the mainstream left has been the ones that are talking the most about not being in interracial relationships.
He's got it. He's fucking got it. He did it. We, the left, thought racism was something conservatives did. But actually, he found a New York Times op-ed, which talks about how one guy broke up with a white girlfriend. Left wing destroyed. What are you gonna do, boys? When he's got a point! He's got a point. Tim Pool, you absolute fucking madman. You genius. You big brain boy. How do you do it? How do you do it time in and time out? How do you dazzle me with every new argument? Just reading the headlines of news articles. Also, the left is not opposed to interracial relationships. I'll drop the satire for a moment. Who's against interracial relationships? If I'm guessing, if I read into this article, and I know you didn't read it, buddy, but if I read into it, it would probably be something how like the behaviors and the preternatural sort of instincts and associations and justifications and cultural values and social attitudes that his white girlfriend had were inimicably inseparable from the fact that she was white, as in her whiteness conditioned her in some way. And he, as a person of color, I think he's Hispanic. Yeah, Christopher Riva. Yeah, well, I don't know. I assume he's a person of color, unless this is a white guy breaking up with a white girl because she was white, in which case that would be strange. But whatever well, even then, not really. I could defend that too. If I was with a white GF or a white BF, you know I fuck all directions. And they were just some goddamn all lives matter, blue lives matter. Like if they were being real fucking honky with me, yeah, I might break up with them because of that. There are ways to engage with these ideas, but Tim Pool is a busy man. Let's not expect him to read the articles he's talking about.
Because it's not just the New York Times, it's also Huffington Post. Because remember this story from February? I'm an Asian woman engaged to a white man, and honestly, I'm struggling with that. Yeah. Could you imagine if any mainstream publication put a white identitarian up in the opinion section and had them write about how they can't be in interracial relationships and it's so difficult?
Notice, by the way, how Tim Pool uses the language of a Nazi. A white identitarian. Do you know what a white identitarian is? A white supremacist. He uses the most placid, politically correct, toned-down language possible because Tim Pool is, let me say it for the audience, an alt-righter. He is. I don't care what he says about himself. Every view he espouses, every behavioral, every mannerism he engages in, it is that of an alt-righter. He constantly plays defense for the alt-right. He acts as a gateway towards those views. He claims to be left-leaning or centrist, but he explicitly denounces left-leaning ideas, often from a position of extreme ignorance. He plays buddy-buddy with right-leaning figures. He's alt-right. I don't care if he's not making videos about race and IQ. He's alt-right. So let's engage with this stupid hypothetical.
Struggling with that. Could you imagine if any mainstream publication put a white identitarian up?
Again, white identitarian means white supremacist. So in none of the articles that we've looked at here that he's just shown the headlines of, none of these articles have been people saying, I'm a Hispanic man and I think Hispanic people are superior and that's why I don't want to date a white woman. So already we have an unequal juxtaposition here, because in one instance, with left-leaning people, maybe the race of your partner, if they're white, leads to them having certain social beliefs that you don't think are tolerable, whereas in the case Tim Pool is presenting, he's saying that a white identitarian wouldn't be in a relationship with a person of color because they fundamentally think they're genetically inferior. Can we see how there might be a bit of a difference there? Maybe just a slight, just a little smidgen of a difference right there. Ooh, possibly. Maybe if I was as smart as Tim Pool, I would be able to see past that difference to the greater grandiose truth, the fundamental, universal, cosmically binding truth that unites us all. Triggering the libs.
In the opinion section and had them write about how they can't be in interracial relationships and it's so difficult, that would...
Well, sure. Actually, I'd be interested in reading that article. Why don't we get a Nazi to write an article about how they're complaining they can't be in interracial relationships? I would love to read it. I'm not joking. I would love to read it, okay? The Nazi can be like, so I watched some Steve Molyneux's videos and some JF and, yeah, just bloodline, you know? Just bloodline. White people, pretty cool. Black people, pretty stupid. Black people are dumb. But black people are also really hot because they're like animals, you know? And they're really fiery when you fuck them. And all my past white girlfriends just lie like on their back and say, I hope you give me a white baby. And I'm not ready for that. So I wanted to go with the black lady, but then they're like, hey, why do you have a swastika tattooed on your forehead? And I say, oh, you know, because white people, because bloodlines. And then they say no and walk away. Now I am writing this article, and it really sucks. Yeah, no, I want this article. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. This isn't satire. I want to read this article. I really want to hear a Nazi complain to me about the difficulties of interracial dating when they're a Nazi. Please, not just a fucking news article. I want a fucking daytime TV show. Give me that Netflix exclusive shit. You know the Netflix shows where they can show cock? You know? Sometimes it blindsides you, right? Because you're looking at more like the independent art housey section of Netflix, usually comes out of like England or whatever, and then like it's like about dating and they're like hip millennials, and then a fucking cock comes out and you see that. That's the kind of shit I want to see. I want that bombastic fucking like, whoa, like I didn't even see it coming. That's what I'm here for, okay?
Would be mind-blowingly insane and racist. Yet
yes, it would be racist for a white identitarian to talk about this. It's not racist for a not racist person to talk about it. The implication there that the people who wrote those articles about not wanting to date white people are Hispanic and black supremacists. Nice. Ooh, good investigative journalism, Tim Cook. You found it. You found the equivocacy you were looking for.
for some reason, the group that claims to be anti-racist is allowing these opinion pieces to exist in mainstream publications.
Wait, what do you want? Wait, okay, so first off, yes, we're anti-racist. For two, even if those articles were racist, do you want us to, like, force the New York Times to not, and the Huffington Post to not run those? What the fuck is he talking about? Oh, well, if the left is so anti-racist, why is it that they let this happen? I don't, it's fucking New York Times. Do you think I have a contact in the New York Times? How far do you think my power extends? How far does my power extend? Hold on. I kicked over my recycling bin, and I'm not sure why. It wasn't a particularly impressive display of power. And now there are, like, boxes everywhere. I don't think I have a contact in the New York Times.
About how they're kind of at odds with being in interracial relationships. These aren't the only examples. They're just two that I pulled up.
Just the two ones that were easiest for you to Google, Tim Cook.
And I'll take a little break right now to point something out. Look.
And he needs his brain's about to overheat. He needs a second to cool it down. Oh, God.
All of these stories, or not all of them, but many of them, they're relatively recent. It's been the past few months that I've seen what appears to be some kind of shock to the system where everything is just downright insane.
So let's go over it, okay? Let's go over everything that he's listed so far. He found Wikipedia articles and the first sentence of 2 different articles that probably have fucking like 8 miles vertical of content. He found that he thought there was a contradiction there. There wasn't, but he saw one. He found 2 articles about people of color saying they didn't want to date the white person that they were dating. He just read the article titles, nothing else. He found an article about white people stealing time from people of color. He didn't engage with the content of the TED Talk, but I think I pretty accurately explained how that could be a pretty reasonable thing to say if you use it as a jumping off point to explore certain anthropological and historical ideas. And he and he saw that people are still protesting against Chick-fil-A and extrapolated that into the gays are at war with Chick-fil-A and Chick-fil-A is their final enemy. That is the extent that Tim Pool has gotten for us so far. In 8 minutes, Tim Pool has he is dredged. This is everything he's got, okay? He's firing, he's lobbing these fastballs at us, all these arguments. And Tim Pool, I gotta say, they just bounce off my doughy body. Incredible. Just, wow.
And it's resulting in people going insane. I mean, as I've clearly pointed out. How many stories have we seen about the rise of the far right, about Trump being a fascist, about how fascists are on the rise? You'd think that with all of this press coverage about nationalists and populists and the far right, there would be actual evidence to suggest that Republicans or people on the right in the United States are also going to the fringe right.
There's no evidence whatsoever that people on the right in the US are going to the fringe right. What? With an increase in white nationalist shootings across the West, our current presidency, the probably impending repeal of Roe versus Wade, Steve Bannon in the Trump administration. I don't wait. What do you want to talk about? Do you think there's no evidence that the far right is the thing? Okay, I mean, cool. This is just fucking America, by the way. We can talk about fucking Erdogan. We can talk about the rise of white nationalism across Europe, how it's considered an actual like national security threat in a lot of countries. That you've got like the Golden Dawn Party and UKIP and all that shit, far right nationalist parties with ties towards racial hate groups. Like, I don't know. I mean, Tim Pool, maybe if you actually engaged in some journalism, you would be able to, grapple with these ideas.
Except that's just not the case. Because of course, as we can see from The Economist since the 80s, conservatives are actually kind of unifying around common ideas, and it's actually the left that is spreading so absurdly.
What is this? Let's look at what this chart actually says. He cut out the title of the chart. I wonder why that might be. Do you think this has more to do with voting consolidation than it has to do candidates who won their primaries? Hold on. This is going to be some dumbass shit. Please give me the chart. Swing left. United States distribution of ideology of House candidates who won their primaries. Jesus Christ. Get off my fucking screen! Jesus Christ. Did it just... Oh, I have to... thank you. 12 weeks for 12... Fuck off. The Economist. All this indicates is that right-leaning people tend to rally around a central base, which we already knew. right-leaning people tend to fall in line when the chips are on the table. What does that have to do? I would love to see the methodology as to what constitutes more liberal or more conservative. And I would love to see some sort of policy by policy breakdown as to how Republicans fielded back in the 80s, 90s, and the aughts were only slightly less conservative than Donald fucking Trump today. Right here. I would love to see the methodology behind this. So not only is this chart stupid and garbage, it's also not relevant to what Tim Pool is saying here, because Tim Pool is acting as though this is an indication that Republicans are growing more moderate. I wonder why he cut out the top here. Do you think it had anything to do with the fact that he didn't want people looking at the source for this chart to find out that it didn't have to do with people's political alignment and instead had to do with the candidacies that they backed?
Then the far left is going far, far left. Is it really an issue of the rise of the far right? Or are we looking at an issue of the rise of the far left? And because the left is fracturing, it's becoming harder for them to defeat other politicians who are opposed to them. I mean, take a look at this graph that I've showed quite a bit in the past few days. Republicans are unifying more and more around central ideas, but the Democrats have veered so far left they've popped off the graph here.
Yeah, that's because oh god, I can't explain statistics to the kind of person who would actually listen to this and think this is a compelling argument. Just because Republicans tend to fall in line around a central figure and there's more disparity in the values of people who run in the Democratic primaries does not mean that there is a comparable rise of alt-right and alt-left. Also, to suggest that the rise of a political ideology can be determined exclusively by the voting patterns of the two political parties in the United States that actually matter is ludicrously fucking stupid. Unfathomably fucking stupid. As if there are no sort of extra political movements that have arisen. You don't have the Tea Party, you don't have the rise of the far right trolling on places like Twitter and YouTube, where there are like unironic fucking Nazis in your mentions like every single day now. This was not the case 15 years ago. I did not used to wake up and go on YouTube and Twitter and just like, oh yeah, just casual fucking Nazis. Here, recommended videos. Ah yes, Nazis in my mentions. The extent to which far-right ideology has infiltrated the cultural diaspora extends a little bit beyond, oh, well, people all vote for the one Republican candidate, but people voted for Bernie and Hillary in the primaries.
Now, of course, the Republicans have been off the graph in the past, but that's not what's happening today.
Imagine unironically being Tim Pool, hard-hitting journalist, and believing the extent to whether or not an ideology is seeing a rise to prominence is by how far right or left this very specific line on this very specific chart about candidates being elected to the presidency shows.
We can actually see that there were many more conservatives, even though the median was further away. But today, the median's actually just about in the middle. How?
The median is moving further right. Look at this. He can't even interpret his own data correctly. Look, the median for the Democratic Party has been a straight vertical fucking line. The median for the Conservative Party, for Republicans, has been leaning right. Incredible. Wow. Maybe he didn't see it. Ooh, just sliding over there.
How do we have a narrative about the rise of the far right when we have more data showing us that the Democrats are going absurdly far left? Perhaps it's because we live in a clown world. And here's the sad thing. While people try to use the clown world meme to express their frustration with all of this insane whatever the hell is happening,
from the perspective of a Nazi. Again, if you go under the clown world videos, they talk about black crime statistics and Jews controlling this all and the Holocaust having never happened.
There's just so much nonsense and insanity. So people try to share a meme that represents how crazy the world is. But of course, because some people who are racist on 4chan decided it was racist, it's now racist.
Well, no, the meme was actually immediately propped up and co-opted by racists, and now all of its definitional uses are pretty much exclusively used by racists. And again, if you go to the single most popular video about Honkler, and again, his name is Honkler. Still a banger of a video, mind you. Now, the last time I went here, the comment section had died down a little bit, but I mean, there's a video of me looking at all the anti-Semitism and racism. So let's see what these this incredibly specific narrow margin of Nazis have done to affect the public perception of this meme. Okay. 10 out of 10 beat would play around black people. Yeah, I think it's calmed down now. Oy vey, it's another Honkler cost? Maybe not. Operation Honkler is in effect, taking back the rainbow flag. Fascinating. When somebody says the Notre Dame fire was an accident. Ooh, a reference to the popular alt-right conspiracy theory that it was actually Muslims or whatever, or Jews, I don't fucking know, who burnt the Notre Dame because it was a representation of Christianity. Multiculturalism is our strength, honk honk, almost as though one was making fun of the phrase. Yeah, it looks like it's calmed down a little bit. Can I watch my own video? I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. Honestly, fuck all of you. Hold on. Get ready to listen to a very annoying voice. Cameras walked before. Oh, we're doing it. In Clown World, the last man to lose his mind wins. Welcome to Clown World, where it's all upside down. Liars are believed, truth put in the ground. Here, good is always punished, and evil gets the crown. In Clown World, it's all upside and down. Both of these people have Clown Pepe avatars. Cool. So this, the world ends not with a bang but a honk. So far, pretty innocent. We just have, like, the memes that are being made. That's pretty good. Yiddle me this, Goyman. What advocates for no barriers, yet has many walls? I'll let you in on this dog whistle, guys. Yiddle me this, Goyman. What advocates for no barriers, yet has many walls, is them saying that Jews are trying to push there be no southern border wall, but there are many walls in Israel. Just in case people are curious, I actually want Israel to tear its own walls down too. So that's cool. We got the comments. Oy vey. Cool. A humble wall merchant. What is that? Where have I heard that? Okay, we don't need to waste enough time with this. It's all fucking documented. It's a fucking Nazi meme. It's a Nazi meme. What are you gonna do? It's for Nazis. Nazi memes. There, look, it's me again. Welcome back. It's me, the original. Hey, listen. Listen to me, okay? Here's how you know. If you're ever... Listen, this is unironically a good tip, okay? If there's a time travel shenaniganry, some sort of nonsense like that, okay? And there are two Voshes fighting, okay? We're decking it out. We're punching each other in the face. We're kicking each other in the gut. We're very aggressively sucking each other's dicks. And then you have the gun with the one bullet, okay? Your hands tremble. Which one is the real one, okay? The real one is the one with the longer side hair. See? Look. If it's a short time travel disparity, I usually only get haircuts once every 2 months. If my hair is a little bit longer, that means more time has passed, which means this is the current Vosh. Unless he came back from the future. If he came back from the future, you have to do the opposite. Also, if there's a great enough time disparity between whatever time the alternate Vosh arrived at and me, then this doesn't work. Then you should... Hold on. No, wait, what do you do then? Fuck. Actually, you know what? Just kill both of us. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, Clown World is objectively not. Anyone who pretends that Clown World is not a Nazi meme is either blisteringly ignorant and hasn't engaged with the subject material, or is themselves a Nazi or covering for Nazis. Okay? Listen, I give you guys permission, alright? If somebody being like, just because some alt-right trolls associated this with Nazism. No. The only people who say this are Nazis or Nazi sympathizers. And you know what the difference is between Nazis and Nazi sympathizers? One of them takes longer to say.
What better example of the clown world that we live in than a story about how the clown world meme is racist? A meme that is meant to show how strange the world has become. That certainly things are so crazy, only a clown could have written it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the sort of clown world rhetoric stems from people's belief that Jewish people are orchestrating a nightmarish fantasy world that is too impossible to believe. That Jewish people are orchestrating through their control of the government, through the media, through Hollywood, that they are subverting the white identity. This is all super well documented. I go over it in my video. It's a good video, folks. Give it a look, okay?
And yes, that's the new racist symbol. This may exemplify the issue perfectly in itself, wrapping up the whole story into a nice, tight little bow. The world isn't perfect. We're trying to build things as we go. We're trying to figure things out. That means things do change. So
What the fuck did that statement just mean? That was the most asinine statement I've ever heard in my entire life. Can we hear it again?
Up the whole story into a nice, tight little bow. The world isn't perfect. We're trying to build things as we go. We're trying to figure things out. That means things do change.
What the fuck is that statement? The world isn't perfect. We're trying to build things as we go. That means things... That is the most meaningless fucking... Wait.
So some of these stories are absurd and strange, and nothing is more perfect than highlighting the fact that we live in a strange and deranged world is now being considered racist. It seems like there's nothing you can do, because if
I say that we live in a strange and deranged world, and nobody accuses me of being racist. It's because I don't use a Nazi meme to express the sentiment. Amazing! Incredible.
If you get involved in any way with a culture war, you must be insane. I can't imagine any sane person would want to take part in this
or
extreme
listen to your
nonsense.
videos.
So look, let me just say one last thing before I end this video. The reason I made this is because it really is stressful how just damn crazy everything is.
I hope that the stress gives you a fucking aneurysm. Please, God. I'm praying. Tim Pool's shins are a gender-neutral bathroom. In case you see him at any events, VidCon perhaps, or whatever conservative or reactionary meetups he may occasionally frequent pretending to be a journalist, just keep in mind, okay?
And so instead of doing the normal thing, I put things together, I kind of wanted to highlight the sheer absurdity of many of these stories. There are way more stories that are way more absurd, but we can all clearly see just how insane things are.
All right, cool. Nice. He said nothing. Oh, God. Oh, man, that was such a waste of my life. How did I spend an hour talking about this video? There was no substance here. What the fuck is going on? Why do I do this? Why do I stream? Why do I even exist? Well, let's take a look at Super Chats.